You made it. Welcome to the Enchanted Library Special Collections. We're so excited that you're here. So according to our notes, you are on a journey with magical books. Wonderful. Now, I have a special selection of enchanted books that you may be interested in to help you further your research and your magic with enchanted books. So, we'll take a little tour of this selection and talk about some of the details, some of the theory, and the magical bits of each piece. Now, in this particular Enchanted Library, we do not wear gloves when we are handling the collection because magical texts are meant to be touched. They are meant to be used, so no worry about gloves, and you'll be able to handle all of the books yourself. So, let's take a peek at the collection, shall we? Excellent. So, the first selection that I've pulled for you is of a delicate nature. This is fairly standard among books of its type. This is a found grimoire, which means the witch who created this book chose an existing book to incorporate her spells into. Now, as this happens, we get a busted spine occasionally. Now, this vexes many witches. But there are methods around it. And what this particular art witch has chosen to do is create chap books from each section of the grimoire. So held together with a ribbon or paper of sorts. This one is the Librum de Coloribus. And then each section that has let go of the spine is then bound as its own individual book in a volume. You'll notice that here as well. Other art witches choose to rebind the book using a stab stitch method, which is something we'll talk more about in just a little bit. Now, would you like to take a peek inside? Excellent. All right. Let's see. What do we have here? All right. This looks like a page for a road opener spell. I feel like you'll want to spend a little more time with this book. I'll set this one aside. The second book I've selected for you is another form of art witch codex with a stab stitch binding, bookboard cover. This is a book that the witch bound herself, and we'll take a peek inside. This is a collection of works based around a Rob Brezsny poem, a well-known magician, astrologer, and philosopher. We'll take a peek inside. This can be an excellent method for art spell preparation, particularly if it is thematic, if the Art Witch would like to create a shorter book, a thematic book, or perhaps an herbal or shadow work or astrology information, if an Art Witch chooses not to go the chonky grimoire route. So, something to consider. I'll set this aside for you as well. Yes, I think you'll enjoy this piece. This is an older artifact in the collection. This is a box book. It is in the shape of a coffin and contains coffin nails. I'll open this up for you. And this is a poetry book. It's wood, handmade paper, coffin nails. There's an overlay sheet on the inside. We'll remove that. And this particular book is a poem about a shape-shifting witch. It's called Piel de Noche. And you'll see here that it is handmade paper. This is a form of accordion book. Each page has been sewn together to create this accordion shape. The text has been hand printed, stamp by stamp, with water-based ink. Now, you might be saying to yourself, this is a box, it's not a book. At the Enchanted Library Special Collections, we follow the axiom that a book is anything that opens and reveals. You can see how this opens up opportunities, pardon the pun, for the creation and appreciation of magical books. Let's take a look at another form of accordion book. So this is a teensy weensy prayer book enclosed with a piece of velvet ribbon. We remove that to reveal the inside, which is an accordion. Right side up helps. Of copper plate engravings, and on its opposite side, hand-painted copper engraving illustrations. I think that this book serves as an excellent example that magical books need not be long or gigantic to be effective and thoroughly enchanting. Moving along, let's see, while we're on the subject of tiny books, how about a tinier book? So this is a zine-noir. That's what we call a magical zine. This is one of many in the collections, but as you will see, this is a particularly tiny piece. This is a book created with one sheet of paper, and we'll take a look and open it up. This form is called a maze book, and you'll see why in just a moment. This magical book form works well for witches who are communicating via the mail, perhaps spells that are meant to be found by others. This particular format works exceptionally well in the tiny community library, if you have access to those, but can also be created as a series, and it's beautiful in its simplicity, but a very potent magical form. Yes, all right. So looking at additional book forms. This is the 3-ring binder grimoire, and oh, you're familiar with this book. You've already experienced this book. Excellent. Well, let's move on. You are a connoisseur of magical books. Okay. Up next, this is a book form known as a folio. It is 2 hardcovers, and inside, if we undo the tie, is a flat box. Now, if we open up the box, this particular folio is a collection of prints. This is a collaborative project. It contains the prints of many art witches. The folio is a truly versatile book form. It works small, it can work on the large scale. It's an excellent way to keep things in chronological order without necessarily sticking to the codex format, but it also makes your collection easy to edit if that is something that the art witch desires. So the folio, very versatile, useful, I think very elegant magical book form. Next I have for you is a petite herbal. And this little book is created on a ring. The covers are bookboard, and the artist created individual cards that are punched with a hole and used on the ring. This can be an excellent way for an art witch to create a collection if they so choose. It takes away some of the pressure that art magicians feel about having a completed work that then needs to be bound. This is very much a form that accommodates a working document. And this can be made with text, this can be made with images, a mixture of both. Found items are common in these ringlet style books. Mostly, they're a lot of fun. I have a feeling you'll get to know more about this book later. Let's see now. We've experienced several folio books so far, but this one is a little different. This is a Jupiterian folio. Bookboard, paper binding. There's a little enclosure here. Let's take a look, shall we? this can be a useful form if the art witch is interested in using multiple materials and forms of storytelling, visual expression through the spell work. Really a textural experience, a colorful experience, a truly magical experience. Folios have so much potential for the art magician. Let's see. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I have one last book to show you today. This is a scroll container. So this is a book inside of a cylindrical container. It has been embellished on the top. We'll have a closer look at that. Let's take a peek inside, shall we? And as you'll see, inside are a series of scrolls. This particular collection is a series of devotional poetry as well as musings from this particular art witch. Now, one might find this type of book helpful if they're uninterested maybe in the codex format. They wish to keep some of their workings secret. This may also become an ensorcelled container in which the ideas are put inside with the intention of growing. And one needn't use scrolls necessarily, or multiple scrolls. There could be one large rolled piece illustration. This format works exceptionally well for magical maps as well. I truly hope that you enjoyed this visit to these special collections at the Enchanted Library. We hope to see you again very, very soon. Now, I will leave you to enjoy your books. Bye for now.